Hey guys, Miss Warren here. I'm back with more color pencil shading techniques. So today we're going to do the color spectrum. This is a slow gradient from all of the primary and secondary colors into each other. We're basically taking a color wheel and we're putting it in a line. Now, in the last videos, I talked about colors that would blend well together. And these are going to be the ones that blend well together, the ones that are side by side on this color spectrum. So you need for this your primary colors, which are the colors you can't mix, that they just exist. So for our purposes, that's going to be red, yellow, and blue. You also, for your in-between blending colors, need your secondary colors. A secondary color is made by mixing two primaries. So when you mix red and yellow, you get orange. When you mix yellow and blue, you get green. And if you were to make this a complete circle, if you were to mix blue and red, you would get violet or purple. Okay, so I'm gonna just start out with my primary colors first. We're gonna just make a little row at the top. So I'm gonna put my secondary colors off to the side. I'm gonna start with red. So over here on the side, yet again scrumbling, making small circular marks, not lines, moving your fingers quickly and your arm or hand slowly to cover the area. I'm gonna press pretty hard on one end because I know that I want this end to just be solid red. So I'm gonna scroll up here. So you can see I'm gonna slowly fade out, pressing pretty hard, medium, and then gentle to kind of get the lighter value of red and leave little specks on the paper to pick up the orange, which is what we're gonna blend eventually. Okay. Then in the middle, I'm going to do something similar with yellow. I'm going to leave a little gap for the secondary color in between. I'm going to press really hard with yellow right in the middle, really get that saturated full color. And yet again, I'm still scrumbling, small circular motions, not big lines. And then as I go more towards the other primary color, I'm going to add less pressure so there's more specks on the paper that will pick up the secondary color. I'm going to go the other way because eventually we're going to start blending this with blue to make our green. And then I'm going to leave a little gap and I'm going to do blue here. Pressing pretty hard in the center. This is a lighter blue than is in the example, but it will still work. So I'm going to press more lightly as I get to the edges because that's eventually going to fade out to violet. And this will eventually fade out to green. So I'm going to go lighter as I go towards the edges there as well. Okay, now I'm gonna get my secondary colors in there. So right between the red and the yellow, I'm gonna get the orange and I'm gonna press pretty firmly with that orange to get a good solid orange in the middle. And then I'm gonna kind of fade out. Now, if you have a really large set of colored pencils, you might have some intermediate or tertiary colors that are like red orange or yellow orange that you could use to color in between, but we're kind of making our own red orange here as we blend the red and the orange together. Really, if you're really skilled at it, all you need is the primary colors. You wouldn't even need this orange crayon if you're really good at making an orange by blending the yellow and the red together in equal amounts. You could do really well at making an orange without any real assistance from having 6 colors instead of just 3. But we're making it a little bit easier today to blend in 6 colors. And smooth that out. Now, if it needs to be smoothed out more, it's always better to go back in with the lightest color, which in this case is yellow, and kind of use the yellow to kind of blend and smooth the color. Using the lighter color over the darker color is always the best way to go when smoothing stuff out. I'm going to blend out just a little more light orange. I want to get a really light yellow orange in here in this gradient. Blend that in with some more yellow. So working it back and forth, yet again, like in the other gradients we did, is important. And I'm going to blend a little more red into this side as we go. I'm going to get a little orange in that red because I want a good medium red orange here. By the end of it, you shouldn't see very much white of the paper. If you've blended it really solidly, you should see very little white of the paper. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my green right in between the blue and the yellow. You press pretty firmly in the middle and slowly fade out to the other color on either side. Keep in mind the darker color is always going to take up more of the attention than the lighter color, so you need to use it more sparingly than the darker color. I'm going to blend a little more blue into my blue-green here. A little more yellow into my yellow-green. A little more green into my medium yellow-green here. Okay, now I just need to do my violet. So I'm gonna leave a little space because I want a dark solid violet here. So normally purple or violet is going to be your darkest color, and yellow is going to be your lightest. Blue will be like a medium dark. Orange will be like a light medium. And green and red will be like your medium colors. They'll be kind of in the middle when it comes to value, when it comes to their lightness and their darkness. Kind of stopped too suddenly there with coloring dark, so I need to blend it in. And since the blue is a little bit lighter than the violet, I'm going to use that blue to kind of blend in a nice blue violet. There we go. You want to see very little white of the paper. You've blended it in. Okay, and there you have a rainbow gradient. These colors will always, if they're next to each other on the color wheel or next to each other on this line, these colors will blend well together, keeping in mind that your purples and your blues tend to be good shadows, and your yellows and your oranges tend to be good highlights, and your reds and your greens sometimes fall in the middle. Yeah, go ahead and give that a try. I look forward to seeing your work.